everyone, and welcome to another new trading week as well. And good morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone that's watching us around the world, it seems, which is fantastic. So if you are new, this is the daily currency call with Forex Trading Asia. It is episode 393, and it's the 11th of October and just past 11 a.m. GMT plus time here. And a quick introduction as well. So this currency call is something we do every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. GMT plus 8. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. So on Monday, we are doing the Aussie and the Kiwi. Tuesday, we do the Euro. Wednesday, Pound. Thursday, Yen and Gold. And then on Fridays, we do CAD and crypto, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoin. And in this currency call, we will go through the market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels to pay attention to, trade ideas, and of course, much more. And this currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and also short-term traders. And here we will go through what could move prices, possible trade ideas as well. And we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks to look out for as well when entering any trade ideas as well presented. A disclaimer finally, any information shared during the session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. That's very important to take note of. And it is solely the opinion and views of the speakers. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. All right, so just to kick us off, guys, I will go through the US dollar index. And, you know, there was a little bit going on Friday night, if you did catch the NFP, but unfortunately with that, it really was sort of a bit mixed. Now, I was just having a look at the USD CAD here just earlier. We do have oil over $80 a barrel, but I will stay focused and we'll get the US dollar index chart up here thanks to Sam Trade. Now, this is the 1 hour time frame. I just wanted to show a little bit of intraday perspective just to start. We did have, it was a miss on NFP. And if you were in the LCMS Traders Club chat as well, there was quite a bit going on in regards to trades being announced and a lot of commentary as well from members, which is really appreciated because there is opportunities there. And it was good that people were sharing and discussing what was going on and what looked potentially like good trades. But for the US dollar index, what it did show me was that there is quite a lot of resilience at the 94 flat level still, because we had that announcement and, you know, the NFP number itself was a miss. Unemployment rate was still, you know, quite good though. It actually beat expectations. And then average hourly earnings month on month came in better than expected as well. So it was, you know, obviously at the start of that announcement, it was very wicky and it actually saw, you know, the Aussie, for example, the Aussie dollar against the US dollar shoot up. But then we really saw everything come back down again. And the thing that I'm paying attention to for this week in regards to economic news, because, you know, when I look at this chart, there are two ways to take it. It's what news can potentially push us further back to that 94.50, or, you know, is there something to look out for that could potentially see us get through 94 flat on the short side? So with the economic calendar here, thanks to Forex Trading Asia, free to register an account as well. So I'd strongly recommend you do that. I'll send the links after this for that. So Monday today, and there's not a lot going on at all, really. So this is the day to just gather information and put together a plan. So again, please feel free to share the YouTube link as well around for the live stream. We do appreciate that. But in regards to US news, so the JOLT job opening isn't particularly a huge price sensitive release, but it's something, you know, for tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, expectations of 10.925 million. Slightly less than the previous month of July. So we'll go down now and we'll just focus on the CPI data. And this is something we're going to obviously mention again, but this is going to be something interesting to see, especially that the core CPI month on month, because the Fed now is in a bit of it's a to and the fro to see what is going to be mentioned, because obviously that NFP was meant to be pretty big, and then they would easily be like, look, let's start tapering. But we'll see how this comes out and how the markets react. So definitely be a little bit cautious there. And I just also want to quickly go and have a look at the US 10-year Treasury bond yield. And I present this just because it's at a point of interest, really, because last time we've seen it up here in early June of this year, we have seen some US dollar strength on the back of that. So what I'm looking for is if we can continue pushing. We've got 1.7 is the next area. So if we can keep creeping up there, and even tomorrow, if we see that as well, it just adds some pressures to the US dollar, and we could see some more upside as well. So for now, not really the time to enter a trade here in regards to the US dollar index. But I would say just to be keeping aware of the situation. If we do see tonight, if the equity markets are pretty flat, again, there's not much to take from that. But if that JLT job opening is, a little bit less than expected, the participation is increased, that's a good thing. And then obviously inflation is going to be, the one to watch as well. If that does beat, then we could really easily see the US dollar index propel back to 94.50. And I see that more likely than the inflation coming in weaker as well. So that's something to pay attention to. But, in regard to the US dollar, there have been some opportunities as well. With the Aussie on Friday night as well, there was discussions there. And it's an interesting situation for it as well now. So just to take us through what's happening with the Aussie and the Kiwi, we have Jindal Tai here, multi-million-dollar trader with LCMS. And he'll just go through, some potential trade ideas and just the news to pay attention to as well. So over to you now, Jin.
Thanks for that, Scott. So good morning, everyone. Chat's going off there. Just before I get into the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, pay attention, those Traders Club members. We do have our coaching session tonight at 8 p.m. So GMT +8. So the link will be up there throughout the day. I'll be posting the link there as a reminder for you throughout the day. So make sure you turn up tonight. Trading, well, not really a live trading session. There'll be a coaching session. And if we do see any trades or any setups, then I'll be sharing that with you as well. So with that, just going to do a quick recap with regards to the non-farm payroll that we saw on Friday. The big surprise, non-farm payroll was, I think it was even a lower number than this. It's been revised to 366. Now it was expected at 500. It came out at 194. This again reinforces that whole thought of predicting the non-farm payrolls. Market analysts in general were expecting a very good number, but it came out at 194 compared to the 500. What happened here was that we saw that weakening in the US dollar, the initial weakening in the US dollar. But if you look at it in the overall picture, right? So we get a lot of questions in the Traders Club. How long is this going to last for? What's the impact of this? How long is it going to last for? And in the overall scheme of things, what could this mean to the US dollar? Don't just pay attention to the non-farm payrolls despite that disappointment. Look at the average hourly earnings month on month. It went from a 0.4 to a 0.6. The revision, it was a 0.6, it got revised downwards. So it's still a good number at a 0.6. What you're seeing here is that inflationary number. It's a wage inflation, and that's what the Fed has been working towards. They have been working towards increasing or controlling inflation. Right now, wage inflation is at a 0.6, so it's a good increase there. But the concern comes back into whether this inflation is going to be sustainable or whether it's going to be transitory or whether it's going to run out of control. All right. So with that as well, the unemployment rate was 5.2, expected a 5.1, came out at a 4.8. So what we gather here in overall scheme of things is that unemployment rate is very good. There's more people working. There's more people who are looking for jobs can get jobs, but the non-farm payrolls is a very weak number, and people are getting paid more when they're working. So in the market view, it is that businesses are hiring. They are looking to build their business. They are hiring, but it might be a supply of employment that's a problem right now. A supply of employment, which means that people are not looking for work. They might be concerned about the virus. They might be concerned about going out. They might be having a wait and see approach, or they might be taking up other kind of jobs, not so much the employment route, maybe the gig economy, maybe the contract works, might be taking up different kinds of jobs. Hence, the non-farm payroll being a very bad number, but unemployment rate going to a 4.8 and average hourly earnings at a 0.6. So in the scheme of things, quite a mixed bag, which is also why we didn't see very clear directions coming from the price movements across the board for the currency pairs. The other thing to pay attention to is also, as we were talking about, the Canadian unemployment rate went from a 5.1 expected to a 4.8, and the employment change had a very good number, expected a 65K, came out at 157. So what all of that meant with the non-farm payrolls, here we see on the charts, especially for the US CAD, is when we were talking about it last week, I was saying that I was going to test 1.2618. Didn't do that. It did break straight down to sit at the 1.2456 level right now. Traders Club members, I will tell you more about this tonight when we look at the projections for the US CAD. But other currency pairs such as the yen, US yen went up from where we're talking about towards the 112.68 level. At that point, I do think that we might see it break higher, but there's a lot more considerations. Again, tell you that tonight. Euro yen moving as expected straight up towards the 130.44 resistance level. Didn't break lower, so it didn't, the sell trade didn't trigger, but a buying opportunity did happen. And also the pound yen moving as expected beyond that recent high of 152.58, now at the 153.61 resistance level. So I think a lot more opportunities to be had, to be traded on the yen pairs, but there are also a few other news to be happening before we can trade those yen pairs. So coming back to the focus, the Aussie dollar and the Kiwi dollar, what could happen here? Coming back to the Forex Trading Asia economic calendar, today being Monday, you can see that today being Monday, you can see that we do have some news, but these are not big price movers. These are not big price movers, especially not for the Aussie or the Kiwi dollar. Pay attention to what could happen on Tuesday. We do have a lot of news here on Tuesday for the New Zealand dollar, but you can see visitor arrivals, long-term migration. These are not numbers that are likely to move prices too much. I would rather instead pay attention to the Aussie business survey, business confidence. If we see an uptick in these numbers, we could see some strength, but the general feel is that we might see worse than expected numbers here for the Aussie dollar. Moving on from that, on Wednesday, we have, again, I'm not sure what this is, but this is not going to move prices too much. A lot of pound news. So I'll tell you more about the pound dollar on Wednesday morning. But following on, more importantly, we do have on Thursday, the Aussie Governor RBA, one of the members speaking. We do have consumer sentiment early in the morning. Pay attention here on Thursday morning at 8:30 GMT plus 8. We do have Aussie employment numbers. Unemployment rate looking to go from a 4.5 to a 4.8. An increase in unemployment looking, and if it does come out at 4.8, possibly even a 4.9, this shows possible weakness in the Aussie dollar. Employment change looking to be again a minus 120. So again, a negative number, a reduction in employment numbers. We could see again further weakness in the Aussie dollar here. And then on a lot of news happening this week, on Friday, we do have the business PMI. Again, at this point, looking like it might be quite a weak number for the New Zealand dollar, and then not much else apart from the US news. We have retail sales numbers on Friday. We have, what else? What other big news we have? PPI, jobless claims. These are not huge numbers there. You can see that we have a lot of news here this week, but not a lot of them are big price movers. I'll pay attention to the core CPI number and the CPI for the US on Wednesday night, especially for our live trading session. CPI number looking to stay at a 5.3, core CPI looking at a slight increase. CPI year on year staying at a 5.3 might pose as a problem for the US dollar. Whether they look like it might stay at a 5.3, whether it be in control, that's something to pay attention to. And then on Tuesday, again, not a lot of news here for the US dollar. And then on Monday, again, not a lot of news. So you can see that we don't have a lot of news on the US dollar at this point for this week, but trading the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar with the employment numbers might make it quite straightforward. So what I mean by might make it quite straightforward, looking at the charts here, the Aussie dollar on the H4 time frame, it has bounced off since last week, that 7233 support level. It's bounced quite strongly off that point. I haven't been looking to buy the Aussie dollar at this point. I think that we might see it continue, possibly continue up slightly towards that 7395 resistance level. So it could continue upwards towards the 7395 resistance level, or it could sit right across at this point. But what I'm looking for here is selling opportunities. I'll be looking to either try and sell it down from this point. What you could be looking for is about 7310, a good 30 pip stop loss for a good 60 pip take profit level, a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside. Or if it does continue its climb upwards, I'll be looking for that selling opportunity at that resistance towards the downside. So at the 7395 resistance, rejection of that, you could be looking again at a 30 pip stop loss for a good 120, 150 pip take profit level towards the downside, a 1:4, 1:5 risk reward ratio for the Aussie dollar. What happens if the Aussie dollar continues rising? I would sit out, I would wait for selling opportunities. I'll look for fundamental drivers to push or to lead the move towards the downside. I would bear in mind that to be a bit more careful to buy the Aussie dollar towards the upside, because we've seen that since the early September, or if I zoom out even further, we've seen that it's been dropping quite significantly. Any bounce up has been met with a quick downward move. So in this case, I'll be looking for selling opportunities at this point, or if it does climb up towards the resistance, looking for selling opportunities from that point towards the downside. With that said, looking at the New Zealand dollar, this is going to be a little bit more tricky. It has been sitting in that consolidation. You can see that since last week's starting point to this week's starting point, it hasn't moved that much at all. It is still sitting at a 69.31 level. At this point, again, you could even just take this, move it across, take this, move it across, and it looks like the same picture, anticipating it to sit right across at this point before tracking towards the 81.19 support level. So what you could be looking for is selling opportunities below 61.12, 69.12, a 40 pip stop loss for a good 80 pip take profit level, a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside again. Comparing both the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, I would actually prefer the Aussie more than the Kiwi, but this will be two trading opportunities that you could put high on your watch list at this point. With that said, I'll pass it back to you, Scott. Maybe you want to share a bit more about the Traders Club as well.
All right, thanks for that, Jin. And I've just shared a few links, so I just want to touch upon that. Firstly, I've got the Aussie sell trade and the Kiwi sell trade ideas here as well. And I will be honest, I saw the Aussie this morning, and I was an eager beaver up bright and early for the Australian stock market open. And I did sell the Aussie as it was breaking through 73, but still it's just holding on for now. But I'd have to agree with Jen. If there are people out there that follow the Aussie and the Kiwi like myself closely, the Aussie just seems to make a lot more sense short. We've got the Australian stock market, and a lot of people are calling that to be particularly overvalued. We've got it down a little bit today. So just keep that on watch, everyone. And we've got some more US dollar strength as well. I've been looking at the Commitment of Traders report here, and I'll share some findings in the Traders Club as well, because we don't share everything on Zoom as well. So on the free currency call anyway. But what I want to do now is let's talk about the LCMS Traders Club. So for the people that are already in this as well, you might tune out, but you might not. You might be able to learn something. We've got Tony here talking about some Aussie dollar chatter as well. So there are guys and girls here that trade in the morning, afternoon, and evening. So there's always something going on. I mean, obviously, we are based in the GMT +8 time zone, but there's a lot of people that are around and are talking and interacting, and especially the trading floor chat. So if people are following us and they're aware of this, but it's really very much like being in a prop firm, and I have been in a couple of prop firms as well. And it's very much an environment that invites improvement and discussion, especially in regards to, I'm putting out morning market updates just to get everyone prepared, just because, I won't stay up till 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, but when you do wake up, you want to have a bit of an idea of what's happened, because that's what I do. I'll gather that and I'll present it. And then we've also got the signals, of course, and the signal analysis too. So there'll be a trade presented, and then there is active trade management throughout as we actually see things play out. But as well as that, in the market watch, now I'm not sure if everyone's aware of this, Kim Hong will take more swing trade positions, and he will write commentary about that as well. And I have to say that he has quite a lot of success with this as well, because if you are someone that, you might be a little frustrated at how the markets are going with, your stock portfolio, I would really strongly recommend just following what he says. There's some great commentary that's written as well. The articles that present the trade ideas allow you to set the trade and forget about it as well. And then once it's activated, Gim will notify you as well and notify the group via the market watch. And that's stuff you won't get in the Forex Trading Asia site. So obviously that's a free site. And, that doesn't go into the active management of the position as well, because as we all know, and if you're, been around markets for a little while, it's quite dynamic, and you just can't simply just be not involved at all. And he will do the work for you as well. So, and he is back in a couple of weeks from his military service as well. So I'm sure he's having great fun. Hopefully he's eating enough as well. And we have had some great newcomers come in as well. And there's people that do scalping. There's people that do, all sorts of stuff. There's crypto trading as well that's going on. And, just feel free to ask a question and we're happy to help. Now, you're probably wondering what's going on. How do I get involved? Well, what I'll do now is I'll just show you the site to go on to, any of details, and we can give you a 1 month free access as well. So I did have it up, but I closed a few. So what I'll do, I'll bring this site up now, and I strongly recommend checking it out. There's no obligation, and we allow you to have that access and to really get a feel for what it's really like. So I'll share this now. And this is, an opportunity that won't last long either. So here it is. So just scroll down and then fill out your details. Name, email, and then we'll allow you access to the Traders Club as well. Limited time only. It's normally $49 USD a month, and we are looking to increase that price as well once this promotion is over, because you do get the live trade call on Monday and on Wednesday as well, which is something that's very valuable. And also you can just ask questions in the chat, and there have been some people really taking advantage of that, and we We really appreciate that, just asking questions, wanting to learn as well. But that is that, guys, in regards to the LCMS Traders Club. Now, I saw the poll that was posted too with our Forex briefcase. So that is a trade for you service where we will manage your portfolio, and you can enjoy the benefits of a professionally traded Forex account without having to, sleuth through all the economic news and essentially be immersed in the markets for 18 hours a day, pretty much. So you can benefit from that. We've actually just hit over 100% as well. I am an investor, so I have significant skin in the game. So I invested with them and then decided to work for them as well. So that's something I'm very passionate about, and I would strongly encourage, click the link, put your details in, and we'll be in touch as well. Or feel free to ask questions in here as well, all the Traders Club. We've got the new Forex Briefcase chat as well, so we'll be sharing some more information in that as well. But thanks for watching, everyone, and hope to see everyone on the call.